In the heart of Russia's Ural Mountains lies one of the most chilling, unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. A story so inexplicable that it has haunted investigators for over 60 years. 9 experienced hikers, 1 frozen mountain, and a series of events so terrifying that they've spawned theories from government cover-ups to supernatural forces. You're watching Shady Sketches, the Dyatlov Pass mystery. Hey there, I'm your host, Miles Harker. What you're about to see and hear will make you think twice before your next adventure with friends. Because sometimes the people you trust most can't save you from what's waiting in the wilderness, or from your own mind breaking under terror. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't face this nightmare alone. And now come, let me take you to the chilling Ural Mountains, where winter never truly ends. Our story begins on January 23, 1959, the height of the Cold War. In the Soviet city of Sverdlovsk, a group of young, ambitious hikers gathered for what should have been the adventure of a lifetime. Their leader was Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old radio engineering student at the prestigious Ural Polytechnical Institute. Charismatic, experienced, and determined to earn his Grade 3 hiking certification, the highest available in the Soviet Union. To achieve this, his team would need to cover 200 miles through some of the most unforgiving terrain on Earth. The group consisted of 9 others, 8 men and 2 women, all experienced Grade 2 hikers. They were friends and classmates united by their love of adventure and the great outdoors. Their destination? Mount Otorten, a peak whose very name in the indigenous Mansi language means "don't go there." Perhaps they should have listened to that warning. On January 25th, they arrived by train at the remote town of Ivdel, then took a truck to an even more isolated settlement called Vizhai, the last inhabited place before the wilderness. From there, they headed into the mountains, facing temperatures of -40 degrees Fahrenheit. On January 28th, one member of the group, Yuri Yudin, turned back due to illness. It was a decision that would save his life, making him the sole survivor of what was about to unfold. The remaining 9 pressed on into the mountains. According to their plan, they should have returned by February 12th. Igor Dyatlov had promised to send a telegram to his family as soon as they reached safety. That telegram never came. When February 12 came and went with no word from the hikers, their families initially weren't alarmed. Delays were common in such expeditions. But by February 20th, panic set in. A massive search operation was launched involving volunteers, police, military personnel, planes, and helicopters. On February 26th, the searchers discovered the group's tent on the slopes of Kolatsiakl Mountain, a name that also means Dead Mountain in the Mansi language. It was badly damaged, half collapsed, and covered with snow. Even more disturbing, it had been cut open from the inside. In the tent, all the hikers' belongings remained: shoes, warm clothing, food, cameras, everything they would need to survive. Leading away from the tent were 9 sets of footprints, but they didn't show people fleeing in panic. They were methodical, reflecting a normal pace. Most shocking of all, they show that the hikers had left wearing only socks, single shoes, or were completely barefoot, in sub-zero temperatures, in a blizzard. The footprints led downhill towards a forest edge. There, under a large Siberian pine tree, searchers found the remains of a small fire, and the first 2 bodies, shoeless and dressed only in underwear, having died from hypothermia. Strangely, branches on the pine tree were broken up to 16 feet high, suggesting someone had climbed it, perhaps to look for the tent or scout for danger. Between the pine tree and the campsite, searchers found 3 more bodies: Igor Dyatlov himself and 2 others. All 3 had died of hypothermia. On May 4, 1959, the remaining 4 bodies were found in a ravine 250 feet from the pine tree, buried under 4 meters of snow. Unlike the others, they were better dressed, wearing clothes that appeared to have been taken from those who had died first. But their condition was far more disturbing. One of the victims had major head trauma, while 2 others had their chests crushed. According to forensic experts, the force needed to cause these injuries would be like getting hit by a car. But the victims didn't have a single mark on their skin. It was like something had crushed them from within. What's more, several bodies showed significant soft tissue damage to their faces and hands, including missing facial features. Adding to the mystery, traces of radioactivity were found on their clothing. The official investigation concluded that the group had died due to a compelling natural force. The case was closed in May 1959, and all files were sent to a secret archive. But what kind of natural force could cause 9 experienced hikers to flee their tent half-dressed into a blizzard, never to return? For over 60 years, the Dyatlov Pass incident had spawned countless theories, ranging from the scientific to the supernatural. Some believe the hikers stumbled into a secret Soviet weapons test. Witnesses in the area reported seeing strange orange orbs in the sky on the night of the incident. Could these have been military aircraft or experimental weapons? The presence of radiation on some clothing seemed to support this theory. Perhaps a bear or wolves were to blame, but no tracks marked the snow, and seasoned hikers would never flee their only defense against such a threat. An avalanche became the official explanation when Russia reopened the case in 2019. The theory suggests that an avalanche, or the threat of one, caused the hikers to cut their way out of the tent and flee to safety. But critics point out that the location showed no signs of avalanche activity, and the hikers' footprints suggested they walked calmly rather than ran in panic. Researcher Dani Aikar proposed that unusual wind patterns around the mountain created low-frequency sound waves that can cause panic attacks, disorientation, and irrational behavior. This could explain why the experienced hikers made seemingly irrational decisions. Another theory suggested that sudden, violent katabatic winds made it impossible to remain in the tent. Similar winds were blamed for 8 deaths at Anaris Mountain in Sweden in 1978. The fact that Soviet authorities quickly classified the files and declared the area off-limits for 3 years fueled conspiracy theories. Some believe the hikers witnessed something they shouldn't have, leading to their elimination. Early in the investigation, authorities considered whether the indigenous Mansi people had attacked the hikers for trespassing on sacred lands. Several Mansi were even interrogated. However, investigators found no evidence of a struggle or pursuit, and the injuries without external wounds couldn't have been inflicted by human attackers. In 2020, Russian authorities officially declared that an avalanche was responsible for the tragedy. Computer simulations by Swiss researchers in 2021 concluded that an avalanche struck the tent hours after the hikers had disturbed the snow by setting up camp. The group escaped but became separated in the darkness and died from exposure. Yet questions remain. Why did the footprints show no signs of panic? How did some victims acquire such severe internal injuries? Why was there no clear evidence of an avalanche at the scene? The sole survivor, Yuri Yudin, spent the rest of his life trying to understand what happened to his friends. He died in 2013, taking his theories and memories with him. Today, the site attracts adventurers, chasing what many say remains hidden in the mountains. The pass itself was renamed Dyatlov Pass in honor of the group, and a memorial stands near the location where the tent was found. What's your favorite theory? Or do you have a different one? Let me know in the comments. Just so you know, I do read them. I might be animated, but I'm not lazy. Now, if you want more stories that will make you question every shadow that moves just beyond the campfire, make sure to subscribe. This was Shady Sketches. See you at the next creepy case.